Hey, Broadcom just reported earnings, and here's what's confusing a lot of people right now. The numbers look absolutely incredible, 48% revenue growth, but the stock actually dropped 2% right after the announcement. And that's on top of already being down 15% from its recent highs. So we're going to break down what's really happening under the hood here and whether that pullback is actually your shot to buy in. Or if the market's seeing something deeper that the headlines are missing. Let's go. Here's what's weird with Broadcom, they just crushed it. Revenue up 48%, beat analyst expectations badly. Stock drops anyway, feels broken, right? But here's what's important, this teaches you something real about how stocks actually work. The market's not voting on last quarter's performance, it's pricing in what comes next. Broadcom's guidance, forward margins, maybe the AI momentum everyone got too excited about, something shifted. The earnings look amazing on paper, the stock's pricing something else entirely. That disconnect, that's where traders make money. Look, Broadcom just put up the kind of quarter that makes us traders sit up. Their revenue jumped 48%, that's not small. They didn't just meet Wall Street's expectations, they beat them clean. The margins stayed solid. And here's the thing that matters most, their backlog is still sitting there full. The business fundamentals are intact. On paper, this is exactly the kind of quarter-on-quarter growth that investors dream about. So now the question is, where's the stock going from here? Here's where it breaks. The company reports earnings that look solid, right? But the guidance, what they're telling us is coming next, it doesn't show that explosive growth investors were hoping for. See, the market had already priced in a 60% win before we even opened the results. They were betting on something even bigger. So when the actual guidance comes in at 48%, it feels like a miss, even though the numbers are still strong. That gap between what you expected and what you got, that's where the stock gets punished. Look, here's what I'm seeing with this move today. This stock already ran hard into earnings. The whole AI thesis was already baked into the price before the report. When a name doesn't accelerate past that setup, profit-taking kicks in. That 2% drop, that's just the market taking a breath and saying, okay, let's reset and wait for clarity on the next quarter. The fundamentals haven't broken, nothing changed operationally. This is noise, not a thesis failure. I'm comfortable holding here, we're good. Look, the fundamentals are still solid. AI spending isn't stopping. Broadcom still owns the pipes, everyone needs to build this thing, but here's what I'm watching, we're not buying right now. See, after companies beat earnings, the stock gets hammered and then it finds a lower level before bouncing back. That's actually normal. I'm cool with that. What I want to see is stabilization. Once the panic selling exhausts itself and we find a floor, that's when we step in. Until then, we're patient, that's the trade. Look, here's what I see happen constantly. Stock beats earnings, it sells off anyway, and suddenly everyone thinks they found free money. They didn't, the market just repriced what the company's actually worth going forward. That's not a mistake, that's the system working. Your edge isn't being the fastest buyer, it's being the smartest buyer. This stock's not going anywhere. Wait for the chart to calm down, wait for real support, and then you move. Patience wins. Look, AVGO just grew revenue 48%, that's explosive, but the stock dropped 2% and it's down 15% from the high. Here's what I think, that sell-off is classic profit taking after a huge move, not a thesis break. A company growing that fast at scale, that's the kind of secular winner we want to own. I'd be watching for pullback to add, especially if AVGO hits one of those technical support levels we track. The fundamentals didn't change. The market just needed to breathe. This feels like a gift, honestly. Jump into the Discord with us where we debate moves like this in real time. Discord, GG/R47RZGM.